Today on First Issue Ever, we're talking about The Punisher, No Escape. And there is no escape from this episode, so stick around.
First issue ever.
First Issue Ever War Journal. 2016. I'm knee deep in Punisher month, so whenever I see someone breaking the law, I feel they need punishment. The following people will receive punishment. All the members of Congress, the people who decided to bail out the banks, Marvel Comics, Disney for rebooting the Marvel Comics universe, Batman Vagina Superman for ruining Superman, Zack Snyder for ruining Superman, Warner Brothers for ruining Oh, hello, and welcome to another episode of First Issue Ever, the only show that concentrates on the only number that matters in the world of comics, and that is the number 1. My name is Steve, and I am the cable to your rest of the X-Force in the world of comics. Here we are in another installment of Punisher Month. I hope you guys are digging it up. $20.99 Punisher, yeah, I told you it was awesome. Well, you did go out and read it, right? If you didn't, prepare to receive some punishment from the future. That's right, punishment. Have you been participating in Punisher Month? Why, just the other day I saw some guy jaywalking and I almost ran him over with my car. He got out of the way though, but it's the fear. Was punishment enough? Why don't you write in and tell me some ways that you've been participating in Punisher Month? I don't know, maybe it's your kids or the local mailman that needs punishment, or your upstairs neighbor perhaps that stomps around like a T-Rex on steroids. Just hypothetically speaking. After that riveting Punisher 2099 number 1 episode we have, where could we go from there? I know, that's what you're asking yourself. See, I know these things. I know you. You're like me. You and I, we're like this, and as I've said many times before, you and I are going to be moving forward into the darkness of the abyss, to the infinity of number 1s and beyond. And where we're going to move is to the normal present-day Punisher of the 90s. Wait, that's present past, but technically the 2099 is supposed to be the future. In the then, all right. So I guess technically the Punisher of the past, but in the Marvel continuity. You know what? Why don't we just get right down to it, okay? I've got a Punisher number 1. It's from the 90s. Let's take a look at it. The Punisher, No Escape, number 1, volume 1, published by Marvel Comics, of course. Around August of 1990. Cover price is $4.95 and it's 48 pages with no ads. It's written by Gregory Wright and art by Todd Smith. Aside from the Punisher, it also features, or rather co-stars, the U.S. Agent and Paladin, which are actually 2 of my favorite B and C level characters from the Marvel Comics in the 90s. We really don't hear too much about anymore. The U.S. Agent is awesome. I actually want to do a video about him later. He's like Captain America, but to the extreme. He kills, runs his mouth, but is still a good guy for the most part. And Paladin, this guy, kind of like a rich, snobby mercenary who's not really bad, not really good. He doesn't even really kill people. He's got a stun gun. I don't know. I always thought this guy was cool. He would show up here and there in the Marvel universe, and I just thought he was cool because he was a guy, getting paid to do an interesting job. Basically, it's Punisher versus the Italian Mafia, and this commission that the U.S. Agent works for, they send him in to take down the Punisher. And at the same time, the Italian Mafia hires Paladin because he has super strength and basically will work for the highest bidder. So it's the Italian Mafia and Paladin and US Agent all going after the Punisher. And a Microchip is in here. Do you know who Microchip is? He's actually one of the few people who's helped out the Punisher over the years. He was like Punisher's tech guy, basically. You can actually see Microchip in the Punisher Warzone movie, which we're going to be watching later this week. So make sure you look for that video because it will be coming up. And he's played by Newman, who I have actually worked with before, but that's another story. Lots of good action, really good art. This is another book that I found at the LA Comic Book and Sci-Fi Convention. And as you can see, it's very thick, 48 pages, no ads, and I found it in a dollar bin. So, you know, if you find those back issue bins that are $1.50, they're worth going through, trust me. Pretty sure I saw this on the shelf back in the 90s. If I would have seen the $4.95 price tag, I would have skipped it because there are a lot of comics back then that were $1, just right there on the rack, $1. So I could have gotten 4 comics instead of this one. Well, if you do see this one for $1, I would highly suggest you pick it up. I mean, the story is not really too deep, but I feel like, you know, there's enough there to where you feel like something's happened, and it's just a one and done. Once you read this, you're done and you don't have to read it again. And it's just it's a good Punisher story, and for me it's always good to see the US agent involved in something. He's also part of Avengers West Coast, which if you don't know about them, I plan on doing a video about Avengers West Coast as well. I mean, I don't understand Marvel. They bring back so much stuff. Why not the Avengers West Coast? But I don't know. That is a rant for another time. So yeah, Punisher, no escape. If you see it for cheap, get it. I probably wouldn't pay $4.95 for this. If you're a Punisher fan, even now, I feel like it almost would be worth $5 to buy this. Just because it's really good and really fun. And if you read it and don't like it, that's it, you're done. You don't have to buy another one or anything like that. It's zero commitment is what I'm saying. Thank you for joining us on this Punisher edition of First Issue Ever. Make sure you keep checking back for more Punisher content later on this month. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, because if you don't, I'll be coming for you. And it won't be vengeance, it'll be punishment. My name is Steve. I'll see you next week.